Good day, everyone, and welcome to our presentation. I am here with Ms. KYRA ELISA San Jose to discuss the queues in Amadeus and the determining queues on guest name record and how to process and displaying it. First is, what is queue? A queue is any number of people waiting in a line for a services or item. By extension, queue management is a strategy businesses use either in store or online to better control the flow of customers to specific services. Next is, what is queues in Amadeus? A queue display, also known as queue count, is a detailed display of the number of PNRs or messages that are on a queue. Depending on how you request a queue count, the following information can be provided. Queues in the queue bank, categories and date ranges, number of PNRs on each queue, category, and date range. And that is queue in Amadeus. Moving on, there is two types of queues process we will be discussing today. The displaying and processing queues and displaying and queues categories. First is the steps on displaying and processing queues. First, enter QT to display the active queues that contains PNRs. And here is the system response. Next is enter QD to requeue the current PNR or messages to the bottom of the queue and display the next PNR or messages. Or enter QN to remove the current PNR or messages from the queue and display the next PNR messages. Here is the system response. You will see the PNR messages with the other infos. Next is enter QI to ignore changes to a PNR or messages and exit the queue. Or enter QF to transaction on the PNR, remove from the queue and exit queues. And here is the system response. And lastly, to end the transaction, enter QFR and transaction on the PNR. Remove from the queue, exit queue, and redisplay the PNR. Next is the steps on displaying the processing queues categories. This will be discussed by Ms. San Jose.
You can also display specific queues only or specific categories associated with your sign. First, to display queue, 40 and every category associated with it. Enter, for example, QC40CE, and here is the system response. It will show in the client's info. Next is to display Q40 and show only categories that have PNRs or messages. Enter, for example, QC40CA, and here is the system response. There is the categories that PNR or message. And to display one queue and category, enter only the queue number and category number. For example, QC8C40. Lastly, here are some examples of QC entries. And since there is no history view for queues, just enter HE queues for more information. And that's it for week 15. I hope you learned something new and thank you for listening. Also, for more information, you can watch the references in the link provided.